Hi guys, good evening. This is Irene from South Writers League. So let us know if you're already online so we can get started. Just waiting for Len. Hi. Hi Len.
Hi.
I guess we'll give it like 5 minutes for people to log in.
Okay.
You just we're just gonna give it 2 more minutes and we'll go ahead and get started. So how was your day, Len?
It's fine. It just rained a while ago.
Oh, it actually didn't rain here. Well, I took a nap before the webinar, so I wasn't sure if it rained.
Am I clear on your end?
Yeah, it sounds
Okay.
good.
Great.
What about me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hi guys. So it's me again. Good evening. I'm Irene from South Writers League. So our webinar for tonight is how to score your first freelance writing gig. So thank you so much, by the way, for joining us. I know it's a Friday. You probably have something planned. So thank you so much for spending time with us. So what we're going to talk about tonight is first the freelance writing jobs available online and how to know which is for you and easy ways to market yourself, how you can attract the right clients, and of course, the very important thing, how much you should charge so that you don't get underpaid. And of course, lastly, you Len is going to discuss how you can create a really good pitch so that you can get the job. So before we proceed, though, let me just discuss a few house rules for the Q&A, because later after the webinar, so the webinar is, the presentation is 1 hour long, but then we'll allot 30 minutes after the webinar to answer your questions. So if you can see, if you're logged in Google, there's actually a group chat on the Google Hangouts. There's a group chat on the right side, so please type your questions there. You can type it as we go along, as we present, but because sometimes some of your questions may already be answered during the presentation, but still type them in, and then we'll just add some of our answers later on. And yeah, you can ask more questions or clarifications about what we're going to discuss tonight. Okay, so we'll make sure that we allot each time for this 4 topics. All right, so first, before we proceed, let me just introduce myself. So I'm Irene Enriquez. I started freelancing just last year in June 2014. Len and I actually were colleagues. We used to work in the same office, and she resigned before me, and then I followed her footsteps. And I've been wanting to go freelance, become a freelance writer for so long, probably since I started working. But I just did the jump like last year. So I've been freelancing for 1 year, and today I'm the head communications at Veeams. So Veeams is a quick messaging app, so for Android. And I'm not sure. Let me know, guys, if you're if you're not seeing the PowerPoint. So just comment on the group chat. Okay. So all right. So Beams is actually a company in Israel, but we're focusing right now in the Philippines, and I'm one of the teams that are here in the Philippines. So I'm also the editor in chief for Adventure Magazine. It's a backpacking magazine in Asia, and the main thing that actually kickstarted my freelance writing career is my blog. So my blog, Really Geek.ph, I used it to build my writing portfolio and attract the clients that I really wanted to work. So I love technology, and I'm so lucky that my clients are also in the tech startup scene. So that's a really a great blessing for me. Okay, and I'm still blogging. I'm continuing to grow my blog, and at the same time helping my clients also grow their business. And so yeah, that's basically how I started, and it's been a great journey so far. And yeah, Len.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Len Cristobal. I'm a broadcast journalism graduate, and today I'm a full-time freelance writer. So after graduation, I actually work as editorial assistant for a national broadsheet, and then I landed on different writing jobs in other companies. But I never stopped writing. You know, I would contribute to publications. I would join writing competitions. So I never stopped writing. I was always seeking for spaces or for outlets for my words. So the one of the reasons why I decided to become a freelancer is because yes, it's because I wanted to devote more time and energy for creative work, and of course earn from it at the same time. So, but unlike others, I am not into, how do you call this? I am not into joining the popular job platforms online. They are great minds of opportunities, but I think that the system is not for me. That's why Irene and I are here, because we would like to guide the freelance writers who want to explore opportunities outside the employment platforms. Okay, so these are opportunities that are both meaningful and profitable, and it's not easy. Okay, we're telling you now that it requires a huge amount of hard work and patience and effort. But the potential returns are high, and it's actually very fulfilling because you're deciding your own freelance path and you're not depending on any structure. So you might ask, what's the difference, and what are the available jobs available outside those employment platforms. Well, that's our first topics, and Irene is going to discuss that. Irene?
All right. So yeah, actually one of the main things, if you're really starting from scratch, for example, we dedicated this webinar for those who are still working full time. Probably you're a call center agent, or you're working a non-related related job. So this is for you, and also for those who are already writing, but not the kind of writing that you want. This is also for you, so that you can actually build the portfolio or work the writing jobs that you find exciting, and also work with the clients that really value you as a writer. So the one of the very first things that is very important is to find out which type of freelance writing jobs are for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and discuss a few of the most popular and the most in-demand jobs online. So for writers, so of course we have the website content, and this is quite broad as well, because you there's so many things that you can do. You can do product description, about page, news section, copy, and newsletters. So anything that the website needs, you will be writing it. And blog posts is, of course, it's my favorite. It's actually one of the first services that I offered to my clients, because I just feel that it's easier for me and to write a blog post. And also, what's good about blog posts is that it's a recurring thing. So it means that you will always have a job. So business blogs, how-to articles, advertorials. So you can actually write for one company, for example, and blog on their website, or you can work for a company and they will ask you to guest post, to write a blog post and then submit it to different sites. It can be either one of those, or it can be both. So social media content, of course, it also usually it goes a lot hand in hand with blog posts. So you will be writing content for Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and you need to make sure that each platform gets the right content. Because, for example, Pinterest is more of like an infographic and graphic heavy site, so you probably work with a graphic artist in order to create content. So for Facebook as well, for Twitter. So those are, and you can also like create content from your blog post and condense it into like a graphic with a few texts, so that it will complement each other. And of course, copywriting. Copywriting is actually also a very broad term, and you can do it online or offline. And usually, this is where the money is. It takes a lot of creativity, and usually, you would be working with a team, so that you can like create campaigns for the business or for the client that you're working with. So it can be anything from brochures, press releases, media kits, postcards, packaging, copy, sales letters, slogan. So the main goal here is to write a copy that will help your client sell. So it's a very, if you want to hone your skills as a writer, I really think that you should write with copywriting, because it's a very creative, and at the same time it takes also a lot of science, because you have to understand your target market, and how you can deliver the message in a clear way. So by the way, guys, I actually have like a tendency to speak really fast. So in the event that you think that I'm like talking really fast, let me know in the group chat, so that I can take it easy. But hopefully, so far it's so good. So okay, and then article writing.
That's our problem, right?
The article writing. So this can also be done offline and online. So actually, I have done both. So since I'm the editor in chief for Adventure Magazine, so I've written articles, travel articles for a print magazine, and then I've also written articles for online. Usually, when you start working as a freelance writer, you'd start with this type of job, most especially if an SEO company will hire you. So, like you would write a 500-word article and then submit it to Easing, um, HubSpot, those types of website, so that they can build links back to your client's website. So, of course, online publications, such as the popular one like Life Hacker, Thought Catalog. So, yeah, those are some of the best or the most popular types of writing jobs available right now. So other less popular but are still it can make you good money as well, especially the ebooks, white papers, and case studies. So there are longer form of content. That's why you need to charge higher, and it takes a lot of time to research for this type of writing service. Of course, reviews, ghostwriting, and business communication. Business communication is more on like it doesn't just involve writing for me. It also involves like a lot of strategy and a lot of because you have to have a vision for all the campaign, like which type of content will you write for in order to promote a new product or a new service. So and presentations. So if that's like what you're good at, like if you're usually the one making PowerPoint presentations in your office, then that could be a good starting point. So ghostwriting can be a culmination of this writing services. So you write reviews, you write blog posts in behalf of probably your CEO or your boss. So that and usually you charge higher for ghostwriting because you cannot take credit for your work and you cannot like use it on your writing portfolio. So reviews, there are many sites as well that accept reviews. I think Review Stream. So like you write reviews and they will pay you based on how many reviews you've done. And yeah, so ebooks, white papers, case studies. If you love research and that if you because usually ebooks, white papers, and case studies they are done for like complex types of products like a software or a new technology. So if you love discovering new technologies like I do, uh, these are the types of uh, writing services that you could offer. And especially papers, there is this very popular white paper writer in the US. I think his site is that white paper guy. So his branding is like always white paper, and he charges so much for like one paper. I think the average cost of a white paper is like $5,000. So and the probably the smallest charge that you can do for this for if you're really inexperienced white paper writer is probably $2,000. So it's like it's not a recurring job compared to blog posts, but if you like have white paper gigs, then you'll be able to like earn more. So yeah, and case studies is all it's shorter than white paper and ebook because you're just focused on like one specific case on how, for example, software helped a company like solve their problem. So yeah, those are the writing jobs that are available right now, and they each cost differently. And later we will discuss that. So yeah, you might like get overwhelmed by this because actually are just the most popular because there are more like you can actually write fiction for a company. So but these are the ones that you can get started with. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, just start with the ones that you're really comfortable with. Like what I did is I started with offering blog posts because I've been blogging like for about I think 3 or 4 years before I went to freelancing. So I was really comfortable with it. I know like the structure and the form of the language and like how to craft headlines. So I was quite confident to offer it as a service. So yeah, just start with something you like and that you're comfortable with. All right. So one of the very important things. So let's, if you already have chosen one or two writing services that you'd like to offer, the very next thing that you need to do is to set up an online profile, which would attract the right clients.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Okay, thanks, Irene. So, actually, I would like to also add and mention that as a freelance writer, you can also take local clients. Like I, for instance, I work as a copywriter for a local company and then a writer for a book project of a local publishing company. So what I did was I submitted my resume and sample works and asked about their writing needs. So, but if you prefer to work to get work online, so aside from the resume and sample works, you need to prepare online profiles. So these profiles are the tools or channels where you can actually introduce yourself, your capabilities, or your services and how you are as a freelancer. So this is very important because there's tight competition online. You know, there are other freelance writers online. So you have to ensure that you can make a brand or a signature so that you can determine your future in this field. So here are the profiles that you need to prepare. So first is the resume. So my main tip is to make sure that each job description will, whether it's related to writing or not. For example, if you're transitioning from a corporate job to becoming a freelance writer, okay, so you have to make sure that it will let the prospect know that you can deliver something valuable to him or her. So, for example, if you're a former salesperson and you want to become a freelance writer, okay, so maybe you've contributed ideas, research, or a phrase or a sentence to the sales or marketing materials of your previous company, then highlight that on your resume. You can include that. Next is your portfolio. So basically, you need 2 to 3 sample works, published or not. Okay, maybe you have a personal essay or a blog post in the past that you can review and polish. You can include that. And then you can also look for a blog. Ask the blogger if he or she welcomes guest posts. Just
Mm.
start with the websites and blogs that are uh, friendly or welcome contributions and guest posts. Okay, and then maybe the next step, if you have your resume and portfolio already, the next step is to build a writer website. So just start with a simple and a basic one. Okay, it doesn't have to feature a rotating 3D form of your name. Okay, so just state your services, your contact details, or what makes you unique as a freelance writer. For example, if you're a writer who wants to focus on writing about the environment, choose a design or use words that you think will be interesting to your target market. For example, the organic stores, editors of environment and conservation magazines, or managers of websites about green living. So bottom line is you have to make that obvious on your writer website. Okay. The next one is create a blog. I think it's a simple one. Many of you may have your own blogs. A blog can actually attract, like what Irene said earlier, a blog can attract potential clients because it showcases how much you know about a particular subject and and your ability to engage with readers or with your community or with, for example, if you've already built a tribe. So yes, the perfect example here is Irene. So after this webinar, I encourage you to check out unbox.ph because you can read there Irene's story on how she became the head of communications of a startup based in Israel after reviewing an app on her blog. All right. So the other online profiles that you need to prepare as a freelance writer are your social media profiles, social media accounts. Okay, you will encounter clients who will ask for links to your, excuse me, social media accounts. Maybe they want to know how you use social media or how you communicate online or maybe your interests in general. Okay, so my main tip is just to make your social media accounts presentable and but not um, presentable but not but not robotic. I mean, of course, the main technique is to share links to different articles online that will actually or visuals that are related to what you're doing as a freelance writer. So that can boost your credibility and that can, but make sure that you read them, okay, and make sure that you can also make your personality shine because sharing stuff online, I mean, anybody can do that, right? So what will make you unique as a freelance writer? Maybe you can add your thoughts or opinions if you're going to share something, okay? And then the next tip that I'd like to share is to keep the overall look of your social media accounts as consistent as possible, so that you can establish a brand. For example, maybe I know that we are not graphic designers, but maybe we can follow at least a set of common colors for our social media accounts. Like if you have a if your Twitter account's header is if its color is baby blue, maybe your website should not be dark red and black. Okay, do you get what I mean? So you might ask, is that really important? First, for the eyes of the prospects, um, how you manage or how you take care of your digital profiles may also reflect your quality as a freelance writer. Okay. And then second, I'm going to give you an example. When I took LinkedIn seriously, meaning I improved my profile and then I made sure that that my profile would attract the right industries and companies I want to work with. I started receiving emails from clients. I accepted two recently. One offered me a long-term job, and then the other offered me it's a special project, a news feature article, which I think is my highest paid work so far. So by just tweaking my profile, I am now able to write more about the topics I love and earn additional income, right? Okay. So speaking of income, I know that you must be curious already now how much a freelance writer is getting daily or yearly, and then how much is their salary. So I think this is very important for you to know.
Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
can you hear me?
I hope you can hear me, guys, because I can't hear Len. But anyway, before I proceed, so I'm going to discuss after this on how like you can set your rates. But I just wanna add some things as well about what Len said. So I thank you so much, Len, for sharing my because I got featured on Unbox.ph on how my tech blog actually got. Kickstarted my career in the tech startup. So, as you know, if you have probably come across my blog, or because my friends already know about my blog and they know that I love technology. So, when I ventured into freelance writing, I know that I wanted to work with in the tech industry, like digital mobile apps, and I feel so blessed, like I said earlier, because I'm able to because my clients are in the tech industry and the video game industry as well, and so creating a blog is if that's if you're not comfortable like in setting up a LinkedIn profile right away or a Twitter profile showcasing your freelance writing, then I suggest you can start a blog so you can also just get the feel of writing and publishing consistently, and then once you're ready, you can start offering your freelance writing services. It's also a great way to find your writing voice, because finding your writing voice is like a journey. You have to write every single day. So having a blog and the commitment to write, that's gonna help you out. Not just earning your, not just attracting your clients, but in actually improving yourself as a writer. So yeah. So I'm going to discuss the set your writing. Sorry, setting your rates. Okay, and I think this is very important because as writers, Len, I don't. Can you speak up because I
Yes,
don't think.
Irene, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. No, because
Hi.
I thought I
Okay,
couldn't
great.
hear you. Okay,
Okay,
sorry.
great.
Okay, so I'm sure if you're like one of the main problems that we see that Len and I see is that writers, most especially, I'm not saying all, but most of the Filipino writers usually like undersell themselves, and we don't like negotiate the right rates for us. Of course, rates are so varied nowadays, most especially because there are so many companies that are outsourcing work in the Philippines. But and I'm still always actually it's always a struggle to like charge the right rate. But the important thing though is setting up um, the kind of rates that you want to work that that gets you excited because you will do your best work if you know that you are being valued not financially. So if you don't have like any idea as to where to start, like for example how much to start charge for a blog post, then this is what I'm going to discuss is a good guide on how you will do that. So first, you will go shopping. So you will have to go to the other freelancers' sites. You don't have to. Actually, there's no limit as to whose freelancer. I mean, whose website you're gonna check out. You can like check out anything from the U.S. or from the Philippines. Just find the ones that publish their rates. So there are writers that publish their rates on their website, and for me, that's very helpful because I exactly know how much they charge. And from eventually, you can do that as well. You can post your rates on the website because that will like screen your clients. So if they don't fit your budget, then they don't have to contact you, and you will save time in like dealing with inquiries. So once you've found the freelancer's website, then let me give you an example. So this is actually a website, one of the first websites that I've seen. She published a guest post on, I think, beafreelancewriter.com, and on her bio, she placed a link back to her website, and that's when I saw the rates. And actually, later on, like a few months after, I also pitched an article to beafreelancewriter.com, and it also got published. And at that time, the guest post I think paid like $50. So it was really a big deal for me because at that time I was just starting and I didn't expect to get paid for a guest post and to get featured as well. So anyway, so this was the first rates that I saw, and I was really happy when I saw this because I didn't know like writers charge that much for a blog post. So if you can see, 500 word blog post is $70, and 1,000 word is $120. So it's always based by word count. And she also has add-ons. For me, I don't like. I charge like for everything. I don't charge additional because for me it's just simpler. But you can also do that. So finding pictures or monitoring comments. So these are her services and her base rates. So base rates actually it can change depending on the complexity of the project. So at that time, I've checked her profile, and I believe she has been freelancing for 4 or 5 years already, and she has like big brand clients already. And so what I did was so that just I can quantify where I was standing in terms of rates. What I did was determine their level of experience of the writer. So let's say she's like a 7 already because of the length of her career as a freelance writer, and her and the types of clients that she already worked with. And I compared that with myself. So probably I was somewhere in a 3 or a 4 because I was just blogging and I don't have clients. Although my background is in writing because I graduated with a degree in broadcast communication and literature. So I thought that count, so I added that. And then yeah, so if she's a 7 and she's a 4, you know that kind of stuff, like when in TV series or movie they rate a girl like, oh, she's a 7, she's a 10. So that's what I did. So just so I can give like I have an idea of how much to charge. So if Alicia Ray's was 7, probably I'd be a 4 as a freelance writer or a 3. So since she was charging $70 for a blog post, maybe I can charge between $20 to $30 for that type of writing service. So yeah, that's what I just that's just one of the things that I did in order to know how much to charge. And there are so many things that you can do. We usually don't encourage like starting with freelance writing sites because the rates there are not very encouraging. Like, it's for me, like getting motivated and inspired to do the things that I want is very important before I actually do them. So I want to see the potential of me as a freelance writer. So that's why I start with this really successful freelance writers and see that like how can I start here and how can I get there. So that's what I did. I didn't start. Although I had a profile back when Odesk, I had a profile there. Although I really didn't use it. So yeah, just start with something that could really inspire you. And also, one good site that you can start with is ProBlogger. So that's one of my favorites. And if I remember correctly, the first freelance article that I scored was from ProBlogger. It wasn't a recurring project. I just wrote like one article, but I was able to use it for my writing portfolio. So what's great about ProBlogger, so you can check it out later. It's problogger.net. It's a blog by Darren Rose. So I think he's from Australia. So anyway, on that blog, there is a job boards part wherein he he would ask like businesses and other companies to post writing, blogging related jobs. And usually they already post the rate, like as to how many words you'll be writing and how much it costs and what you need to do in order to get the job. So it's very, very clear that you'll know exactly how much you'll be earning. And it's usually a lot higher than those those in it's called Upwork now, right? So yeah, usually the rates there are higher, but of course the competition is tough. So that's why you really need a good pitch in order to land a client, which Len will actually be discussing.
Okay. So, the last topic for tonight is how to pitch to a prospect who has a job advertisement online. Okay, so no, I think for me, no matter how good your writing is, if you can convince your prospect that you are the right person for the job, then you might miss a huge opportunity, and you know your talent will go unnoticed, basically. So pitching should serve or should act like a mirror. You know, your skills, your experience, or your knowledge should match what the client is actually looking for in a writer. Okay, so when you are pitching to a client, there's no formula or template because the preferences and requirements of our prospects vary. Okay, so there is no single pattern, but there are principles that you can apply on pitching. So here are the factors or the principles that you should consider. First, know your prospect. Knowing your prospect is like, just getting to know a friend, and you have to know, for example, what is your prospect's industry? What is your prospect's target market? Your prospects brand, your prospects tone or objectives. For example, if you have to know these things because this will help you position yourself as the writer that the prospect is looking for. So, for example, when you know your prospect's world, then you know the words or the industry jargon that you can include in your pitch or the tone of writing that you should use as you create your pitch. So, if the prospect is an advertising agency, that that targets lifestyle brands as clients, for example, and then you can use a tone that is a bit friendly and light. But if it's a financial services company or anything related to the serious industries, then you need to be a bit more serious with your approach. Okay, and then the next step is to match your skills with the position's requirements. So like what I said earlier, an example for that is if you are a if the ad is looking for a writer who knows something about nutrition, and and you know that you're not a nutritionist, and maybe you have a health or food blog, then you can mention that. I mean, you can talk about the writing skills or the knowledge or the experience that you've gained as a health blogger or a food blogger in relation to nutrition. Okay, and then the third one is, of course, uh, mention your resume and sample work. So the first half of the pitch should be about the summary of your qualifications, and then the other part is you should mention your resume, sample works, or your links to your website and social media accounts. Okay, all right. So I have two other tips for you, and I will discuss them by showing you my actual pitches to clients before. So the first example is actually about how to structure or arrange the items in your email or on your pitch. So you will notice that I use bullet points here for my qualifications because my thinking was I was thinking that the client is busy or has a lot of qualifications and they would like to know experience in magazine editorial and production work is preferred, and advanced skills in feature writing. So you will notice that my first two items answered those requirements. So I mentioned my articles that were published in different publications, and then my background in magazine production. Okay. So, and then my next example is actually it actually shows a short speech, a short pitch. Okay. So, which is what the ad required. Okay, so what I'm trying to show you now is that even if there are different styles in pitching, you still have to prioritize if the client is looking for a specific approach or for a specific document or letter. So if there are guidelines on the job ad, you have to follow those guidelines. And then if the client asks for a short pitch, then just submit a paragraph, not three long paragraphs. Okay, so the example here is from ProBlogger actually. Okay, so you would notice on the last part of the ad that the prospect is just asking for the resume, one of the editing, one of your best editing or writing samples, and then a short pitch. So I came up with a short pitch like that. Okay, all right. So if you have questions, specific questions about pitching to clients with job advertisements online, or about any of the three topics that we discussed tonight for this webinar, our Q&A session is next.
Oh yeah, we are going to discuss all of your questions, and hopefully we can address them tonight. All of them tonight. I just want to add a few things regarding pitching. To be honest, I love pitching. So what Len shared tonight is actually sending a pitch that is already that already has a specific that the client already offered on job sites like ProBlogger. So there's another side of pitching that is more like advanced, like wherein you need to approach clients that are not that are not really offering any writing position, but you could always still pitch to them. So pitching is one of the skills that you really need to like work on as a writer, because when you're good at pitching, then you can use it like anywhere, not just to apply for a writing job. You can use it to pitch for to companies, and you can, if you are already working with a company, that company can use your pitching skills for other uses as well. But actually, I use this a lot for my position as head of communications at games. So because I need to make sure that we are always getting media coverage, so I have to know which type of story goes to which type of publication or website. So there's like what Len mentioned earlier, that you have to match your skills to the writing job. So for pitching, you also have to like match the right content to the right like website or to the right publication. So I really recommend to take the time to craft a few pitches. And it you might say that it's like time consuming to write like a pitch from scratch, but as you practice it actually gets better. What you can do is like create a structure or a template. Like this would be like the main things that you should include, so that you'll already know the flow of your pitch. So some also require you to write a cover letter, and I think cover letters are it's overrated. Pitching is better because it's much more compact and specific to a writing job. So actually, the example that Len shared, it's from Pro Blogger, and that's exactly like the types of jobs
Yes.
that you would see. So make sure though to follow instructions, because there are different instructions when it comes to applying for a job on ProBlogger and on the other sites, because sometimes they don't want you to send like a resume. They just want you to send your a link to your writing. So make sure to follow the instructions, most especially if you're just beginning. That way you can make sure that you get the job. And because usually from my perspective, I also did a little bit of helping out my client in hiring people. So I helped them like write the job page, and we usually ignore people that don't follow instruction. So yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind when applying for a writing job and writing pitches. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and proceed to the
Irene?
yeah. Yes, then. Hello.
Yes, I just would like to add something about pitching. Yes.
Mm.
You can also use pitching, guys, when you're trying to write a guest post, for example, for a blog, so that you can start building your portfolio. So your pitch should basically explain what makes your idea unique for that guest post, and then make sure that your idea is also helpful to the audience of the website or blog you're pitching to. And of course, you should also explain why you are the perfect writer for that idea. So, see, you don't have to have published works with you, as long as you have a great idea and that fits what the blogger wants for his or her blog, then you can start creating one.
Yeah, I so agree with that, because on my blog early.
So, does our
uh,
audience have questions?
Yeah, so you can ask questions about like the topics that we discussed today, or you can like ask us questions about like our freelancing experience. So while we're waiting for the questions, let us just share like a few a few of our own experiences in freelance writing. So I just wanted to ask Len as well, like, how did you get? Because usually there's a lot of struggle when you're a writer, that like you're not very confident with like what you do, or like your writing skills. Even now, every time I start a new writing project, I'm always my writing sucks. My client might not like this. So yeah, I always have that struggle. So Len, like how did you like cross the bridge? I'm not sure if you experienced that, so you probably should start with that. If you experience the same thing as I do, like not very confident with what my writing skills, or yeah, could you share us a bit about that? Hello. Hi guys, I hope you can hear me. Len?
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi,
can
Irene.
you
Can
hear
you hear
my
me?
question? Yeah.
Yes, 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 I do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, basically, when okay, yes. When I have an article that I find difficult and then I'm not confident to write about, I actually check out I actually check out the websites that I admire. Like for
Mhm.
example, the New York Times, the New Yorker, websites that resonate with the kind of writing style that I like. So, it's not that I'm copying the style, but it's just giving me the idea, the inspiration, to motivate me uh, to find the proper structure. For example, the proper introduction for this type of article, or the proper tone for this for a particular subject. And then when I feel, well, in terms of motivation, well, when I feel really not confident with my writing, I usually get back to my previous posts or previous articles, and then see where I actually excelled in the writing process, where my editors find my work good or bad. And sometimes
Mhm.
I actually collect the comments of my previous editors and clients, comments about my strengths and weaknesses as a writer. I collect them actually, and then I also have quotes, favorite quotes
Mhm.
from my favorite writers. So, for example, here it's on my board. It's from Muriel Park. I mentioned this before in our past workshop at Crimson
Mhm.
Hotel. So I think this is just a similar quote. She wasn't a person to whom things happen. She did all the happenings. So, it's like,
Oh.
getting me ready. How about you, Irene?
I actually have a code as well. Well, it changes, so I have a whiteboard, and I write the code that is more like appropriate at that time. So a few weeks ago, as you remember, it was like raining really hard, and it was hard. So since we work from home, it's hard to like get up from the bed and like work since we
Yep.
own our time. So I said one of my favorite quotes that like really gets me off my ass is losers wait for motivation, winners just get shit done. Sorry, I
Wow.
think we can curse in this webinar, right? So yeah, so that's like every time like I I hear that or I read that or I actually write it over and over again, so that I can spring myself into action, because nothing will happen like if you don't act. So yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes, and I actually got it from Marie Forleo. You should check her out. She's really awesome. And if you're starting out as a freelance writer, because if you're a freelance writer, you're also an entrepreneur. So you
Mm-hmm.
really need to have like inspiration about like how to become a writer, a creative person, and a business person as well. And I think Marie Forleo really like delivers that. She's a creative person and an entrepreneur. So just check her out on YouTube, and check out some of her videos. They're not about writing, but there are some that's about writing. But it could really inspire you. You should just go for your dreams. And I actually like what you said about like collecting. the comments of your editors or looking back to your past work
Yes.
uh, that's good, because sometimes we can't be we have a hard time judging our own work. So the things that we think are good are not really good. Like sometimes, actually, this happened to me recently because I've been writing a lot of pitches for Beams, like to share a story. And the things that I thought, the articles that I thought are good, some of them are just like, meh. But some of the, like the one from unbox.ph, I really had like fun writing that, but I didn't expect that it would like get a lot of attention from most especially from my friends. And so yeah, it was the responses were like overwhelming and very I was really touched by the responses of the people and and the comments. So I'm gonna do what you do, and when I'm not feeling very good about my
Mm-hmm.
writing, I will go back to like some of the articles or the work that I've done that people have um, found good. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And one thing that I do is if I'm feeling stuck in a writing project, most especially if it's a new one, I just actually just use an app for Mac. I think it's also available for Windows. So the important thing is to just write everything and don't edit yourself. So just get everything down. I use this app because it doesn't have like an autocorrect. It's the interface is very simple. It's made for writing your first draft. It's called Writer. Um, there's a free version, and it's really great. So just because when you write everything down, you're just and then you can structure everything later. So that's what I do, and it will also help you write faster. So yeah.
I think it's important for us writers to really find sources of motivation or inspiration, because we have to be confident in what we're doing. Because I think that some writers are accepting low paying jobs online because they do not know yet their worth as communicators,
Mm.
their significance in various industries or sectors or other ways of life. Uh, for me, I'm not, I had a struggle before. I struggled accepting the fact that I'm earning from my passion for writing. So it's like passion and profit. For
Mm.
some, that might raise eyebrows. So, uh, now I think I've wiped out that guilt, because I am now more confident in my role as a communicator, and I know what I can deliver as a writer. So I think that when you get rid of that guilt, you'll be able to, to showcase your work, to share your talent, to actually contribute something to produce results for your clients or for your passion projects.
Wow, that's really great because I think because writers we have like a lot of internal struggles, so
Mm-hmm.
which I always still experience. But I like what I do though is make sure that I like clear my mind, because if working as a freelance writer can be very isolating, um, and there's a lot of thinking, research, and if you have a highly creative mind, it can take a toll on you, especially on your mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and even like on your physical health, because you don't do much like movement when you're writing. So I think once you have already established your freelance writing business, when you have like established your clients and that you have monthly projects already, it's very and when you're working from home, it's very important to make sure to like exercise. Personally, I do yoga because mainly for my mental health. So because it helps me. So like if I work like 4 or 8 hours in a day, of course there are breaks in between, but still that's like a lot of thinking, and I have to like refresh my mind so that I can go back the next day and have uh, um, new view. This is especially important if you're, because as a writer you have to constantly produce new ideas. So if you like, if you exercise, and I do yoga, jogging, and I try to meditate now. So and I think it's good for me. So you don't have to do those things, but at least you need to like pick an activity that will like take you away from writing and take you away from your desk. That's how you like refresh your well. I forgot what's the, because if you like keep on taking stuff from your well, eventually the well gets dry. So you have like to put something back. Yeah,
Yes.
I think I've read that from The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So yeah.
Mm.
So if you guys don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and close the webinar. So you can actually view this anyway later. It will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and you can share it with your friends. Or if you need to go back to some of the topics that we've discussed, you can definitely do that. Or you can ask us questions as well. Like after the webinar, you can add us on Facebook uh, as well. Facebook, or you can approach us individually. So we have our own Facebook profiles and websites. So feel free to approach us after the webinar. Right.
All right.
Okay, let me just share the go back to the PowerPoint.
All
Okay,
right.
so
So, yes.
yeah, go ahead then.
Okay. So, maybe you have other questions in mind, or maybe you're overwhelmed for now, and I think you have questions about more specific topics that I think you want to bring up. So, but our platform tonight, or our time tonight, is not enough. So, we are actually extending this webinar to a workshop next month, and it's titled the Kickstart Your Freelance Writing Career and Double Your Income Workshop Over Coffee. Okay, so we actually held this workshop 3 times already. So the first two ones were huge events. In fact, the second one was held at Crimson Hotel. So next month, we're doing it differently. It will be a more intimate workshop, so we have longer time to discuss all your concerns about this 4 topics. So we have basic tools. This would be more specific, and a more comprehensive discussion about how to build your resume, portfolio, and online profiles. And then we have the road less traveled for effective ways to get clients, the art of pitching for the different types of pitching, and then more specific systems on how to set your rates. So we're going to answer questions like what are the different types of portfolio? So, and what are the different ways to find your brand or signature as a freelance writer, and then how do you charge per hour or per word or per project, and then what are the different parts of a pitch. Okay, so the workshop will answer those questions and more. So what Irene and I consider as the highlight of this workshops this August is the second topic. So it's the road less traveled.
We actually coined that term because if we mentioned earlier that we don't want to go through the usual route of like joining sites, freelancing sites like Upwork, because there are so many options that you can take that will allow you to find the right clients and the right project. So the road less traveled will we will discuss the different ways on how we actually find the clients, how we found the clients that we already have today. So it's not, it's usually not the types of strategies that you would see online. So and also yes, the set your rates, there will be like a little bit of math in there, so so that you can actually determine, you can like maximize your time when you're working as a freelance writer. So you can actually check this out on our website, southwritersleague.com. Yeah, so and our if you can see on the screen, we have our websites listed there, so you can get to know more about us and what we do.
All right. So if they're interested to register for these workshops, um, so you just go to southwritersleague.com and then you just scroll down to the from the blog section. So from the blog section where you will see the post kickstart your freelance writing career and double your income workshop over coffee. All right, and then you can find the other details about the workshop there and also testimonials from our previous kickstart participants, and then maybe our photos are there, I think. So you just check it out and
Yeah,
then use
yes, our photos are there.
you can use the Google form to register and to secure a slot for that.
All right, so everything you need to know is on the website at southwritersleague.com. The link to our Facebook group is also there. Although we're quite strict. We're quite strict in accepting members on our Facebook group because we want to make sure. I'm not sure if I know that some of the people who registered for this webinar are not from the Philippines, I believe, but most of us are in the Philippines, and because Len and I are from the south, Laguna and Cavite. So for our Facebook group, we accept like members from the south as well, and we sometimes meet and chat and just work. Because like I said earlier, it's isolating to work as a writer, so we have like to band together and have fun. So we actually have quite a lot of activities lined up, and we're going to have like board games and yeah. So sometimes when we get together, like it usually just supposed to be like an hour, meet an hour for coffee, and then it lasts like 3 hours. So yeah, it's important to find to be friends with your other writer, with the other writers. So we hope to see you at the workshop over coffee, and of course, if you're in the area, we'll make sure to invite you as well to one of our events so that we can get together and yeah, know each other. Maybe we can exchange. Like networking is very important for us writers. So we do hope to meet you soon as well in person. All right, and don't forget to share the video to your friends. And also, I will let you know once the video is up, so that you can have it for your reference and also share it with your friends. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us for this webinar, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Bye, guys,
Thank
and
you. Bye.
thank you. Have a good night.